So, out here working on the sawmill. Actually just started it. You can hear it. It's warming up. It's frosty out here. I don't know. I don't think it went below zero, but there's a thick layer of frost. So, people ask me how you basically handle a log by yourself. And it's actually not that bad. So, I'll show you how my setup is. So, I drag the logs in. There's some boards and stuff there. And I lay them here with the tractor. I cut the ends off, whatever. My sawmill will cut 16'6", but we are pretty sure this is a 14 log. 14'5". There's the sawmill warming up. We got lots of saw blades, all different pitches and varieties. So I'll show you what we use. This thing is called a log PV, a log turning thing. And I grab my tape measure. So it's basically the same. Yeah, I just figured I got old car ramps. I don't know, they just appeared here some day. But this is it. So you set your backstops up. And really, you just stick the PV underneath, make sure it's set, make sure that hook's in, and roll the log. It's not overly difficult. It is one-handed, but that's pretty much all you're doing. So, we got the log on. So I got these old, I don't know what they are, four-wheeler ramps. So I just put them on the frame, roll it back, and make sure you got your log stop up high enough that the log hits it and stops. And the PVs works pretty good. There's the old girl again. So once we get it against the log stops, we're going to put our, I call them the dogs. I don't know what the real word is. But they're basically these screw-in contraptions that hold the log nice and steady while we're cutting. So I turned the sawmill off just for a couple minutes. It's a lot easier to hear. But what we're going to do, as you can see, we're going to line up our saw blade. We're going to make our first, I call it the barking cut. Takes all the bark when you get down to material. There's a bark pile or slab pile, whatever you want to call it. And basically we're going to run different scales. So you got to learn your scales. So if you want a 2x something, it's this scale. If you want something that's 1 inch thick, it's this scale. There's another scale here. So basically all works the same. If I know this is actually dead zero on my saw, I got a set. So I just go up. So everything's sort of backwards. So right now, I'm going to go for 3/4 inch board. So I'm going to take that cut. And I set this on the number 9 line. So I'm going to get my first cut. Then I'll come back and I'll go to 8 1/4 because that's 3/4 of an inch shorter. And we'll get 3/4 inch boards, but you're going to have bark on both sides. So you got to set it back up in a little bit. And you'll take the top off and then the bottom. Flip it over and stuff. So I'll try to do one as I'm cutting, see if it works. So give me a couple seconds. So it's probably going to be a little bit loud, so you may want to turn your speakers down, but it's not that bad. So turn the saw off again. So you can see, that's why I call it a bark cut. And depending what you're going for, like this one, I just want some 3/4 inch by 3 for some strapping. So I'm just gonna make it, but I'm not gonna get the full log like that. This little piece will give me until about here. Then from here it gets all wavy, and it's not worth a whole lot. So that piece I'll end up cutting off the skill saw as we're building. We're on the very end of building that one. So I need some 3/4 inch. But that's pretty much it. It's actually pretty easy once you get to know the scales. The scales are going to be your hardest thing to learn. which one to use and when. But yeah, hopefully that answered everybody's questions about sawmills. They this one's a 122. It's a Woodlands. I've had it for now, well, it's 2025 and it's 2020 model, so I bought it in 2020. And other than breaking a throttle cable and some odds and ends, it's done me really well. I spent like, I don't know, I think it was $5 grand landed or something like that. But yeah, you could always go to a big name, spend 20 or 30 grand, but for the little bit that I'm doing, this thing's yeah, paid for itself 10,000 times over by now. So basically, if you're starting a homestead or anything like that, a sawmill should be your first thing you pick up. If you need a 2x4 in the middle of the day and you don't want to run to town, you can come out and rip one out. And, well, you got loads of trees. Trees are everywhere, so you just pick and choose what you want to cut out, clean an area. And, yeah, it's not that bad. Once you learn how to use it and decide what you're going to do, I go true to, like, size. So if I get a 2x4, it's actually 2 inches by 4 inches, not this crap they sell at the store, the 1.5 by 3.5 or something like that. So I don't even, they look like matchsticks compared to my stuff. And I don't know, I always figure thicker is better. So, and I've never had one break. I like the store ones, they snap all the time. Well, that's it. HM122 Woodlands. Finishing that building over there. And the only maintenance parts you need, really, there's a whole pile of saw blades. And they're resharpenable. And a heck with it. You can resharpen them. That was a big word. But yeah, all kinds of different ones laying around here. So you got ones for hardwood, softwood, mixed woods. I run the same exact one for everything. The only difference in hardwood, you got to slow down. You can't push it as hard.